Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video where today we return with the feature race from the Hungarian Grand Prix. Yes, of course, if you missed out on the qualifying and the sprint race that went live yesterday, I would highly recommend going back and checking out. Of course, there will be spoilers in just a moment. But quickly, before we jump into that, I just want to say a massive thank you to all of you for the insane and continued support on the channel. Obviously, videos at the moment, you know, I haven't actually sat down on Christmas Day, December 25th, to record this. I hate to break that to you, but yeah, the support on the channel this year has just been absolutely mind-blowing. I know I say it a lot, but it is genuinely, you know, it has actually changed my life in 2022. So a massive thank you to all of you that continue to enjoy these videos as well. You know, I hope everyone is having a wonderful time, you know, no matter what you're celebrating as well. You know, having a good time with your family, with your friends, and all of that good stuff as well. But yeah, today we've got racing to do though, so, you know, if you are watching this, a massive thank you to you for coming round and enjoying the content as always. 2 points separate myself and our big title rival Felipe Drugovich as we head into the feature race today. We're also the top two on the grid here in Hungary, so this one could get quite spicy. Let's get into it though. Hungarian GP time.
We're returning for the second event of the day after an amazing sprint race this morning. The top 10 drivers have been reversed, setting up for another exciting race to round out the first day of the weekend. Here are the starting positions for today's race. A fantastic effort from Felipe Drugovich yesterday puts him on pole position, with Teo Porcher starting alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Doohan, Williams, Liam Lawson, and Vershaw, Cordial, Caldwell, Sato, Marcus Armstrong, Sargent, Owasa, Yuri Vips, Vesti, Hauger, Hughes, Boschong, and Roy Nissani. Daruvula, Bullock-Passy, Fittipaldi, and Clement Novalak completes the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
Right, well here we are then on the grid, ready for the Hungarian GP feature race today, and rather interestingly actually, one of very few tracks on the calendar where we use softs and mediums, so I'm going to stick to the standard strategy today. Of course, we often go with the alternate one, but I think starting right at the front, we've got more that we can potentially lose by dropping back in towards the pack there, and I'm also quite worried about how much Drugovich is going to be able to run away early on. We saw yesterday Marcus Armstrong was able to break free at the front and no one was able to challenge him. I've got the clutch glitch, of course, but we've got to hope that we don't let Drugovich do that today. I love F122. Just potentially trying to psych out Felipe Drugovich a little bit as we head through the final couple of corners, just constantly pulling alongside him, filling up his mirrors here on this formation. You know, it's all the mind games still at the end of the day. We got a pretty good launch yesterday, but I say that, Drugovich did even better than me off the start. What is going to happen today? Top two in the championship, top two on the grid. Our teams as well are tied in the Constructors' Championship. It couldn't be much closer if we wanted it to be between myself and Felipe, but we're going to angle the car slightly towards him. Hopefully then we can tuck into the slipstream, and if we have to, cover off from Jack Doohan behind. We're just waiting then on a Clement Novalak at the rear of the field there in the other MP Motorsport car. Waiting on those 5 red lights once again here at Hungary. And it is lights out, and away we go, and big wheel spin. Whoa! More wheel spin than I've ever had before in these F2 cars there as we try and head down towards turn 1. That was like one of my F1 starts. Is Logan Sargent going to try and cover me off? Everyone's going for it in towards the first corner, and that's probably been the worst start I've had on F122 outright there, at least on the initial getaway. Look at this Fred Vesti trying to get up the inside of me as we head down the hill there. We'll try and hook it up around the outside through turn 2, but Drugovich could not have asked for a better start there, and after all that psyching out of our championship rival, we just got way overzealous on the throttle there. Lucky actually to keep it going in the right direction when the car tried to snap round for the second time, and it is just all about the turbo lag in these F2 cars as we head up the hill on this opening lap there. We're even going to get tagged by Ollie Caldwell behind us, who's going to push us out over all of the sausage curbs. We'll try and not back out of it though, as we'll squeeze him out off the corner, but nightmare start then to the feature race here from the Hungaroring, and yeah, just trying so hard to get the better start than Drugovich off the line there, and it's absolutely not worked out for me. That's a lesson we need to take into the final 4 rounds of this year, that we just need to be smooth and careful there. Still feels like there's no particular rhyme or reason on the launches in these F2 cars, but that one, yeah, absolutely my worst as we wound our way through the final couple of corners. Drugovich needs the way at the end of that one. We've got to be careful that he doesn't pull away from Jack Doohan behind him early on in this GP, but we need to get on the team. Fred Vesti, Pourchaire is faster than you. Felipe Drugovich still setting fastest laps then at the front of the field, but that's a gentle reminder to our Brazilian rival just how quick we still are in this field. Gonna have to start trying to make moves pretty quickly here. We have got 19 laps though, of course, in this feature race to regain places, but Drugovich not looking like he's romping away at the front of the field, but we do need to try and get back round Fred Vesti there. It's round in the final corner then. Let's just wait and see what we can do with the DRS. Whoa! That's pretty much the best run I'll ever get out of that final corner there. Inside wheels, pretty much hanging on to the white line, but Fred Vesti's going to go defensive on me. In towards the first braking zone, and he's actually going to sit on the apex there. I thought he might drift a bit wider. I was actually trying to get a run back on the switchback, and that's not going to work out for me. As we think about a move down the inside in towards turn 2, the AI pretty confident into that second braking zone, unless we can do something out of turn 3, which we absolutely are going to try. Side by side up the hill then with our teammate in towards turn 4. Fred Vesti, is he going to give me the room? Yes, he is. And back into the points we'll go then. You don't see many overtakes around the outside of turn 4. We've pulled it off though today. I mean, it wasn't our teammate, so perhaps he was a bit more compliant than most drivers would be, but we'll take it. Awasa, next car up the road. Fred Vesti though back at the inside at turn 1. We're going to try and outbrake our teammate once again there. I wasn't actually expecting him to get the run that he did down the start-finish straight. You know what? Fred Vesti's absolutely had me then off for the first couple of turns. I'm going to try and force him defensive as we head down through turn 2 there. We've got Ollie Caldwell trying to get in the mix once again there, but this is not what we need to be happening early on in this race. Are we going to go side by side in towards turn 4 again? No, that time round we tried to have a look to the inside. Fred Vesti having none of it. And I'm sure the ART team management will have held their breath then for a brief moment. Fred Vesti is not, however, doing me any favours early on. Ooh, I've just noticed on the minimap, something must have happened to Felipe Drugovich. Drugovich now is not in the lead of this race. Jack Doohan is at the front of the field. Felipe's down to about P5. So I don't know whether he's picked up front wing damage or made a mistake or something. But look at that, Felipe Drugovich running very slowly. So I reckon he might have a mechanical issue then on that MP Motorsport car, and right when we thought it could be quite an easy 25 points for the Brazilian there, as we're now trying to look around the outside of our teammate again. Come on, Fred, get on with it, mate. Yeah, Felipe Drugovich then clearly with some sort of mechanical issues at the moment, as we're going to try and get up the inside of Vesti at the final corner. It is going to be a drag race back down towards turn 1, but look at this, yeah, Drugovich is just losing places everywhere. As we head back down in towards the first corner, we're going to go up the inside of Vesti once more. There is Sargent completes a move on our championship, well, second place now, of course, in the Drivers' Championship. But Drugovich has run a pretty flawless campaign up to this point there. Hasn't really made any huge mistakes, though. I'd argue we've been the quicker driver, but Drugovich has certainly been far more consistent. But at the moment, he's just going backwards. So here we go, Sato then launching it up the inside of Drugovich in towards the final sector there. That was a very, very aggressive move from Sato. Awasa now is going to try and get him on the exit there, as we're almost 3 wide into the final couple of corners. We're now going to try and get up the inside of Awasa, who gives Drugovich a bit of a push. I'll give Drugovich a bit of a push as well. What on earth is going on with that MP Motorsport car there? It's clearly not enough to send him out of the Grand Prix, as we run very, very wide there. There are cars absolutely everywhere at the moment, as somehow we're going to slip back up the inside of Awasa out of the final corner. I reckon Drugovich has lost DRS as well, as I tried to go down the middle. Drugovich is going to try and cut that one off. We're going to have a look up the inside, down at turn 1, then launch it over the curbing through the first corner, and that's going to be a cheeky double overtake then, up into the points once more in this Grand Prix. But what on earth is happening to Felipe Drugovich? We've just got to try and keep gaining places, but he's absolutely thinned out the field in front. So many cars now are spread out by just a couple of seconds from each other. Team want us in then at the end of lap 8, but I'm not sure whether it's worth just trying to hang out for a couple of laps longer here. We'll have a look what the tyre wear is doing as we head out of turn 1. Yeah, it's probably worth boxing now. I don't really want to extend this stint way up into sort of the 50-odd% wear range, so we will just confirm that. Let's try and get a bit closer to Sato then before we box. Oh no! I've completely forgot to box! No! Oh, why didn't Mark remind me? Heading through the final couple of turns, or in the final sector. We are going to have to stay out another couple of laps, and now we've got a DRS failure. It's stuck open! Around arguably the second worst track for your DRS to be stuck open on F122. What is happening to both championship runners? At the moment, both myself and Drugovic running into issues here. We can't box the end of this lap, otherwise Fred Vesti is going to get absolutely screwed. But our DRS now is going to be stuck open for at least, or most likely, 2 laps. Quite loose and lively through this middle sector, I'll be honest. It's not as bad as I thought it would be. Of course, the DRS not as powerful in these Formula 2 cars, but it's still not particularly fun as we head through the final few corners of this lap there. As you can see, back end now sliding around a whole lot more. What I find even more worrying is the fact the team still haven't told me that our DRS is stuck open. Mark's just clearly had enough. He's on strike at the moment as we try and head through the final couple of corners. It looks like, I think that's Raoul Boschung at the rear of the field struggling. Fred Vesti into the pits, Boschung out in the Grand Prix. It's all still going on. We've got to box the end of this lap. What I find even more worrying is, of course, had we boxed when we were meant to, we wouldn't have had the DRS, so it wouldn't have got stuck open. So it really has just been a tale of unfortunate events at the moment for both myself and Drugovic. I don't think we're losing much time, though, because of the DRS, and of course we are going to be on slightly fresher tyres right the way through to the checkered flag, but round in the final couple of corners then of our pit-in lap. Yeah, we're definitely losing time, though, to Jack Doohan, and now we just got to try and get it nice and safely into the pit lane, and hopefully the team, yeah, even if they just sellotape the rear wing down, AlphaTauri style, that would still be nice. I almost forgot then, it was 37 miles an hour, it was only at the last possible second I remembered there, and often when you box anyway, it doesn't actually change the rear wing there, it doesn't actually fix it at all. So we'll wait and see about this as they bolt on the new tyres. 2.4, come on, let me go. Still stuck open. Where are we going to re-emerge, though, in this Grand Prix? There's been so much carnage and chaos. But like I said, the field has actually been spread out quite a lot. Here comes Rino Sato. So we head back out of the pit lane. We're going to be behind Sato. Are we going to be behind Iwasa? Yes, I'm not brave enough on cold rubber to try and stick it up the inside of a feisty young Japanese driver. Yeah, we're definitely losing the most time in Sector 3 because of this DRS, but at least I don't have to remember to enable it as we head out of the final corner. And honestly, I don't actually think it costs you much at all in these F2 cars. As out in the final turn, DRS still stuck wide open there, as of course Sato has got it off Iwasa.
1.8 seconds.
Still nothing we can do about it as we head back down in towards turn 1. Will it even get fixed before the end of this race? I know I've had it occasionally before on the F1 games, but not often. So now we're all over the back of Iwasa through the final couple of turns. I'm really learning actually how to drive around this DRS issue, as are we now going to be able to get a run out of the final corner. It does cost us a bit trying to get on the power, but you know what? We've not done too badly. New fastest lap of the day. Maybe this DRS being stuck open is a blessing rather than a curse, but to the outside of Iwasa in towards someone. They're trying to use Sato to act as a bit of a chopping block for him, but not quite able to do anything there. Off of turn 1, Iwasa will hold firm for now. It does really just cost us in the traction zones at the moment, as around the outside of Iwasa down the hill. Again, not quite going to be able to do anything. Really attacking the curves though through turn 3, but again, DRS stuck wide open. We can't afford to take big risks. Oh! Iwasa! Big mistake there, and no idea how he managed that. Tiny lock-up right at the last moment, but that's now going to... Don't care, Alexa. That's now going to give Sato a little bit of breathing room, as somehow we got away with no front wing damage from that incident, which I'm not quite sure of. We got a tiny little bit by the looks of it. The right end plate does look a bit worn on the MFD, but luckily, of course, we've got DRS to defend ourselves from Iwasa behind us. Are we going to be able to try and find a way past Sato? I hyped up the fact we had Drugovic and I at the front of the grid. You know, I thought we'd have a good battle for the win. I don't think anyone's money would have been on 8th and outside of the points by lap 14 unless we'd collided. It has been one of the wildest races of F2 so far this game. No! Oh. I honestly thought we were going round then. I thought we just took a bit too much curb with the DRS wide open and the car was going to spit me out, but somehow we catch the slide. You might make another mistake, might you, Moawasa, but that was really scary. Because the Dams driver and I just keep tripping over each other at the moment, it meant that now we won't have any DRS from Sato up the road, so this one should be a bit easier to pull off as we head back down in towards the first turn. It's not going to stop him going defensive on me though. Back in towards the first braking zone, we'll try and keep him off the racing line as best as possible. Slow it down, pinch him to the apex, you've got to hook it up around the outside apparently through turn 1, and that's exactly what we'll do. P8 once again, it's like none of that ever happened. Oh! Finally! Finally the DRS is back. I honestly thought it wouldn't get fixed before the end of this race there as we head through the final couple of turns. Luckily, going to be able to... No, we're not actually going to be able to switch it back on, so I wasn't within the range of Sato in front, and I did worry them for a second whether that might give Iwasa an advantage, that suddenly, yeah, having the DRS working was going to hinder us once more. But it's been a weird few laps in this feature race. We've still got 3 more to go though. Yeah, I'd argue this has probably been the least predictable F2 race we've ran on F1 22. I mean, La Castellet last weekend was pretty wild, but this one's just been weird. There we go. DRS now working as it should. Immediately, new fast lap of the day, as it's nice actually to be able to tip the car through the penultimate corner without the rear end trying to come round on me, but we got to try and find a way around Sato in these final couple laps there. The extra couple of points would be really, really worth it by the end of the season. You never know how down to the wire this is going to be between myself and Felipe Drugovich. This race has certainly been very unpredictable. Let's look at the run off of turn 3 there to the outside of Sato as we head up the hill. Whoa, he's going to hop over the curb in there. We're just going to have to take evasive action off the corner, and Sato will hang on to the place for now. As we round our way through the final couple of corners, we're still chasing one virtuosi car. The other one looks like Jack Doohan is going to get yet another race victory on the board and further cement himself in that P3 position overall in the championship. He had a rough opening half of the year, but really now he's able to string victories together by the looks of it when he gets the opportunities at the final turn on the run back down towards turn 1. Are we going to be close enough to Sato this time around? Last attempt to have a look up the inside, which we're absolutely going to go for. A bit of understeer though off the corner, and Sato, we are going to be neck and neck off of turn 1 there as we go side by side down the hill. We've got someone else. That's got to be Iwasa trying to make it 3 wide as we head down through turn 2 there. Sato's going to try and back out of it. Got to give him the room though, around the outside through turn 3. We will make it up into P7 then on the final lap of this Grand Prix. That is not the line though. Through turn 4 they're bottoming out over the inside curb there. Just did not allow the rotation through the front end, but 5 seconds up the road to Richard Verschoor and Logan Sargent. Looking at the mini-map, seems like it's been a nightmare weekend for Charouz. Way back down in last and second to last place there, but a fantastic weekend for Trident as well. Looks like it is gonna be, I always forget who Richard Verschoor's Callum Williams, isn't it? Sorry, up in P2 there. So an Australian 1-2 by the looks of it. Come the checkered flag today. Richard Verschoor in P6 as well, so not a bad day at the office for the team down at Trident. But Jack Doohan is going to once again take another victory in this F2 career mode. Could he potentially launch a late championship run through the final couple of corners? We are going to extend our lead at the top of the table, but a topsy-turvy race today. We're going to come through for 7th from 2nd on the grid.
Alright, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
So another fantastic victory for Virtuosi. And Davide Valsecchi, give me your thoughts. How did they accomplish this result?
The difference was in the strategy. Credit to the driver for sure, but races like this really drive home how much of a team sport this is. They did a lot of work on the pit wall to really make the most of each stint and to make the best use of the tires. But that said, all of that would have been for nothing without a talented hand on the wheel.
And here are our podium drivers today after that excellent race. They've excelled here as they so often do, and it's a well-deserved victory. Virtuosi then are on top today. After this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the drivers' table. Teo Porcher can celebrate tonight as his championship lead is extended even further. Now then, Davide Valsecchi, who would you say was your driver of the day?
Lots of driver impressed me today, Alex. But if I have to say one that impressed me most, it's Jack Doohan.
And here's how things are shaping up in the Teams Championship. ART moved to the top of the table. It was also a strong race from Trident this weekend. Fantastic work from the Italian team to move themselves further up the table. Well, what a weekend that has been. Please join us next time for another thrilling instalment when Formula 2 returns.
Well, there we are then, the end of the F2 feature race and another chaotic weekend from the Hungaroring. Jack Doohan takes the win ahead of Callum Williams there, and Lawson P3 makes it, an Oceania 1-2-3 there, locking out the podium come the checkered flag. Amaury Cordial in 4th ahead of Logan Sargent. For sure, myself, Sato Awasa and Yuri Vips will round out the point scorers there. A little bit gutted, Fred Vesti still couldn't find a way into the top 10, and Dragovic down in 14th place there. Very, very disappointed for him. Of course, nothing he could have really done by it. There was definitely an issue with that car. But that means championship-wise, 9 points now the lead as we head towards, I'm pretty certain it's the Belgian Grand Prix, isn't it, next weekend there. Jack Doohan, yep, 67 points back. You know what? I'm going to say it now. It's not over for Jack Doohan. If he really does keep pushing the way he has been recently, that gap could get very, very close come the end of the season there. Sato and Armstrong jump Daruvula, Callum Williams and Sargent jump Hauger, Verschoor jumps Awasa, and Yuri Vips there with Liam Lawson jumping Novalak Vesti, and Jake Hughes and Amaury Cordial now ahead of Enzo Fittipaldi as well. So 3 cars tied on 29 points apiece as we head in towards next weekend. Teams-wise, 7 though. The gap there as well for ART over MP Motorsport as we leave the Hungarian Grand Prix. Of course, real life, there would now be a summer break from Formula 2, but we're not about that. We will be back next weekend, of course, once more with the F2 career mode. Thank you all so much for watching, and make sure you join us then. None of these videos would be possible without the help of our channel members, so a massive thank you to all of the names you see on your screens currently for helping support the channel. You can join them by clicking the join button down below, and thank you once again to everyone that continues all the insane support on my work.